Hey guys, so this is a really important video because this is the video where I'm going to show you guys all of the valve combinations that you can use. So all the different fingerings that you play on the trumpet. We have 3 buttons on the trumpet and you can combine them in different ways. Any math whizzes out there might be able to figure out all the different combinations. How many different combinations of 3 valves can I use? Bonus points if you can figure that out before I tell you. How many different combinations of 3 valves can I make? So before I tell you the answer to that, let's just look at what's going on when we press these valves. So you can see that the trumpet has 3 and each of these valves has a slide associated with it. So on the first valve, we have the first valve slide coming out here. You can see it connects to the first valve. The second valve has this slide here, second valve slide. And then the third valve slide, if I flip the trumpet around, you can see is here. Now each one of these slides connects to one of the valves, and what that means is when I play that valve, when I push that valve down, now the air that's going through the trumpet is going to be redirected and go through that extra bit of tubing. Now you might know from music class that if my air is going to travel through a longer tube, it's going to make a lower pitch, right? Longer space to travel, slower air, it's going to make a lower pitch. That's something we can talk about more in depth another time. But for now, I just want you to keep in mind if the air is going through more tubes, longer tube, it's going to be a lower pitch. So my highest valve combination is going to give me the highest notes is going to be open, right? And then to go down from that, I want to start pressing the valves to make the air go through longer sets of tubing to get lower notes. Now, of these 3 slides, which one is the shortest? Which one is the shortest? Right? So it's not the third valve slide. You can see that's really long. In fact, that's the longest. This one's pretty long too. Yeah, you guessed it. It's the second valve is the shortest valve slide. So that means if I want to go down, but only a little bit, down from open, but only a little bit, if I press my second valve, I only am going a little bit farther, right? Now that distance covered in this tube is the equivalent of what we call a half step in music. That's the interval of a half step. And it sounds like this. I'll play an open note, then I'm going to press down my second valve, and you're going to hear the pitch go down by a half step, or basically 1 note. And here it goes. If I press my first valve instead of my second valve, it's going to go down a little bit even lower. It's going to go down 2 notes, or what we call a whole step. And now if I do the same thing but I use the third valve, it's going to go down 3 notes, or what we call a minor third. Now if I want to combine 2 valves, I'm going to get the sum of their 2 slides. Oh, I know that sounds like math, but it's pretty simple. Think about it. If I press down my third and second valve slide, now the air is going to go through this tube, and it's going to go through this tube. So we have a half step plus a minor third, which is going to make 4 notes down, which we call a major third in music, and it sounds like this. So let's see who my math whizzes are. How many people guessed that the total number of combinations of 3 valves that I can make, including open, which is no valves, and including all 3, is 8? That's right. If you guessed 8, you are right. But now I'm going to let you in on a little trumpet secret, a little trumpet caveat. We only really play 7 of the combinations. We only really play 7, and there's a reason for it. The reason is, if I play my third valve to get that minor third that we talked about, that's going to give me the same note as if I press 1 and 2 together. Remember, a minor third is 3 half steps. This is 3 half steps when I push this down, right? Or 3 notes. This is 2, and this is 1. What's 1 plus 2? Yeah, it's 3, right? So if I press these 2 down, it's going to go down 3 notes, and if I press this down, it's going to go down 3 notes. Now, which one should we choose? The long story short for this one is we choose 1 and 2, and the reason is because it's more in tune. Certainly it would be nice, I guess, to play with just one finger instead of two, but we get a more in tune note when we play 1 and 2. So you're always going to be playing 1 and 2. There's only very rare times that we'll actually use third valve by itself, but we're going to focus on using 1 and 2. So now that I've told you all that stuff, let's go through the combination. And what I'm going to do is a second video after this, which is going to start with the combinations, so you can actually start there if you want to just refer to, what the combinations are and you don't want all this explanation. But here we go. It's going to be open, 2, you should write this down, 1, 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3, 1, 2 and 3. Let's do that again. Open, second valve, first valve, 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3, 1, 2 and 3. I'll see you in the next video where we're actually going to play that together. Alright, take care guys.